99%. That's how many dreams, businesses, and big ideas end in failure. We celebrate the rare success stories, but behind everyone is a mountain of brutal, untold failures. For every overnight success, there are thousands who faced rejection, bankruptcy, and humiliation. Most people quit at the first wall. But legends? They use failure as fuel. Today, we'll uncover the real resilience tactics behind legendary comebacks, actionable strategies, not just motivational fluff. Stick around. What you learn could change how you face your next challenge. J.K. Rowling's story didn't start with magic. It started at rock bottom. She was a single mother, broke, depressed, and living on government aid. Her only asset? The story of a boy wizard that lived in her head. She wrote in cafes, scribbling on scraps of paper, clinging to her vision when everything else was falling apart. This is vision tenacity, holding on to your dream so fiercely it becomes your lifeline. Rowling finished her manuscript and sent it to publishers. 12 rejections followed. 12 times, the world said no. Most would quit. She didn't. She believed in her story more than anyone else, so much that rejection felt like their failure, not hers. Finally, a small publisher took a chance. Even then, they told her not to expect much, but her belief never wavered. That single yes changed everything. Rowling's secret wasn't luck, it was her refusal to let go of her vision, no matter how many doors slammed shut. She lived in her story until the world could join her. That's vision tenacity, being your dream's fiercest protector, even when you're the only believer. Ask yourself, is your vision strong enough to survive rejection? Can you see it so clearly that others' doubts don't matter? Rowling's lesson. Before anyone else can believe in your dream, you have to believe in it with relentless conviction. Be the first and last guardian of your vision. When the world screams failure, let your belief drown it out. That's how you turn rock bottom into a launching pad. Rowling's story proves sometimes the only thing between you and changing the world is your own unwavering belief. So, when you're at your lowest, ask, is my vision clear enough to withstand 1,000 rejections? If yes, keep going. If not, make it stronger. The world needs your story, but you have to believe in it first. That's the magic of unwavering belief. Rowling didn't just write a book, she rewrote her destiny. Her journey is proof. Vision tenacity is the foundation of every legendary success. Hold on to your dream, defend it, live in it, because sometimes the world just needs you to believe a little longer. That's how legends are made. Rowling's story isn't just inspiration, it's a blueprint. Vision tenacity, believe so fiercely, the world has no choice but to believe with you. That's how you turn failure into magic. Steve Jobs, visionary, co-founder of Apple, and then, in a stunning twist, fired from his own company. Public humiliation. The world watched as he lost everything he'd built. Most would retreat, Jobs didn't. He turned exile into opportunity. Here's the second resilience tactic: reinvent and refocus. Jobs saw his firing as a strange gift, the freedom to be a beginner again. He founded Next, a company that failed commercially, but became a lab for his best ideas. Simultaneously, he bought Pixar, which struggled until he pivoted it from hardware to animation. Both ventures seemed like failures, until they became the foundation for his comeback. Next software became the core of Apple's future. Pixar revolutionized animation. Jobs learned, experimented, and grew in the wilderness. When Apple was on the brink of collapse, they bought Next and brought Jobs back. He returned wiser, focused, and ready to bet everything on a few bold ideas. The iMac, iPod, iPhone, and iPad followed, transforming Apple into the world's most valuable company. None of it would have happened without that devastating setback. Jobs didn't just bounce back. He used failure as a springboard to greater heights. The lesson: when you're knocked down, don't just get up in the same spot. Move, reinvent, refocus. Use the freedom of starting over to explore, learn, and build new skills. Your greatest setback can be the training ground for your greatest comeback, if you have the courage to reinvent yourself. Jobs' exile wasn't the end, it was the beginning of his most creative era. Reinvent and refocus. That's how you turn public failure into legendary success. Don't fear starting over. Embrace it. Every setback is a chance to build something new. Jobs' story proves the lightness of being a beginner can lead to your biggest breakthroughs. When the world says you're done, use it as fuel to create your next chapter. Reinvent, refocus, return stronger. That's the Jobs blueprint. Don't just survive failure, use it to transform yourself. The world remembers the comeback, not the fall. Jobs' journey is proof. Reinvention is the ultimate resilience. When you're exiled from your comfort zone, build something better. That's how legends are reborn. Reinvent and refocus. Your next act could be your greatest. Make your comeback story one the world can't ignore. Michael Jordan, 6-time NBA champion, global icon. But his greatness was forged in failure. As a high school sophomore, he was cut from the varsity team. He went home and cried. Most would quit. Jordan got angry and used that pain as fuel. This is the third resilience tactic. Embrace failure as fuel. Jordan never forgot that rejection. Every practice, every game, he remembered the sting. He turned failure into obsession, using it to drive relentless improvement. He made the varsity team the next year and dominated. Throughout his career, he collected failures, missed shots, lost games, blown opportunities. He didn't hide from them. He studied them, memorized them, and let them motivate him. I've failed over and over and over again in my life, and that is why I succeed. Jordan wasn't afraid to miss. He'd already failed thousands of times. Every mistake was data. Every loss, a lesson. He weaponized his shortcomings, turning criticism and doubt into high-octane motivation. Most people run from failure. Jordan ran toward it. He understood. The pain of regret is worse than the pain of discipline. The key is to reframe failure, not as a judgment, but as a compass pointing to your next improvement. Jordan's greatness wasn't in spite of failure, it was because of it. He stood on a mountain of missed shots to dunk on the world. His secret weapon? Never letting the pain of failure fade. He kept it close, using it to fuel his drive. This strategy works in any field. Don't ignore your failures. Analyze them. Let them push you to work harder. Rejection letter? Pin it up. Lost a deal? Study why. Failure isn't a stop sign, it's a signpost. Your weaknesses are just future strengths in disguise. Jordan's story proves, embrace failure and you can turn it. Don't brush off your setbacks. Lean into them. Lead. Channel your frustration into relentless improvement. Let your failures become your reason to outwork everyone else. That's how you fail your way to greatness. Jordan's journey is a masterclass in using pain as power. Embrace failure as fuel. Make your setbacks your secret weapon. The world remembers the wins, but it's the losses that build champions. Don't fear failure. Use it. That's how legends are made. Thomas Edison, his name means invention, but his real genius was persistence. Here's the fourth resilience tactic. Reframe failure as iterative learning. Edison's quest for the light bulb wasn't a single breakthrough. It was thousands of failed experiments. 10,000 failures. Imagine that. Most would quit after 100. Edison saw each failure as a step forward. When asked about failing 1,000 times, he said, "I didn't fail 1,000 times. The light bulb was an invention with 1,000 steps." That's the mindset shift. Every failed experiment was a discovery, not a defeat. He eliminated possibilities, gathering data with each setback. Failure wasn't personal, it was progress. Edison's lab was an invention factory, systematically testing every idea. They tried everything, bamboo fishing line, even beard hair. It was relentless, methodical, and ego-free. The process was the point, not a single eureka moment. Edison's genius was faith in the process. He knew persistence would eventually pay off. After thousands of tries, a carbonized bamboo filament finally worked. The real victory? The resilience to keep going through all the failures. Apply this. When something doesn't work, don't call it failure. Call it learning. Each setback narrows the field. Each no is one step closer to yes. Reframe your journey as a series of experiments, not pass-fail tests. Remove ego. Focus on the process. Edison's tenacity wasn't blind optimism, it was belief in iteration. He played the numbers game longer than anyone else. Success was inevitable because he refused to stop. The lesson: don't see dead ends as walls, see them as guideposts. Reframe failure as iterative learning, and persistence becomes your superpower. You're not leaping to the top, you're climbing, one step at a time. Edison's story proves the process is the path to breakthrough. Don't fear the 10,000 steps, embrace them. Every experiment, every setback is progress. That's how you turn darkness into light. Edison's blueprint: relentless process, ego-free learning, and faith in iteration. Reframe failure and you'll outlast everyone else. That's how legends invent the future. Keep going. Your breakthrough is just one more experiment away. 4 legends, 4 failures, 4 tactics to turn defeat into destiny. Rolling's vision tenacity, Jobs' reinvention, Jordan's fuel, Edison's iteration. These aren't superpowers. They're learnable mindsets. Resilience is a skill. The next time you hit a wall, will you quit or will you try one of these tactics? The choice is yours, and you'll face it again and again. Which story hit home for you? Drop a comment below. If you found value, hit like, subscribe, and ring the bell for more. Your journey to overcoming failure starts now.